level 3 of your hip prehab exercise video. So this is going to be a core exercise that we're going to use to start you off here and get that core nice and engaged. We are going to do what's called a dead bug most commonly. So Sherry is starting on her back. You can either be on a firm surface, is probably a little bit easier, but if you need to be on a bed or something, then that's okay as well. We're going to tighten our core and make sure that Sherry maintains a neutral spine through her lower back here. So you never want your back to be arching up off the ground. You want to make sure that that core stays engaged and that spine shouldn't really move throughout this movement. It should be mostly the core doing all of the exercises. So she's going to start a very simple version of this just with her legs, where she lifts one leg up, towards a 90-degree angle at the knee, and then the other one. So it's sort of like a march. You're going to feel like you have to work each side of your abs a little bit harder depending on which side you're doing. So that is the easiest. If you can't do this without arching your back, make sure just to go nice and slow and only lift as high as you can comfortably. To progress this one, we would extend our leg out a little bit more on the way out. So you'll get a little bit more of that hip extension. And then we're going to come all the way in and out. That's right. And then if that is now too easy, we can work in the upper body. So with the upper body, this is where the name comes from. You're going to look a little bit like a dead bug with your arms in the air, your knees bent, and then you're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So as her left leg goes out, her right arm will come out the other way and back in together. So you can do like Sherry is doing here. You always want to do the same number on each side. So if you do 5 on this side, you would then switch 5 on the other side. And then if that eventually gets too easy, you can always do the real coordination one, which is switching each time. Switch. There you go. So those are all of the different stages of dead bug. As I said, depending on your own core and your own capability, make sure that you do whatever level is correct for you and you're not arching your back or feeling your lower back.
So now that we're standing, we're going to do our heel raises. Kelsey's going to demonstrate on the ground first. And she's just lifting her heels up and slowly coming down. And just for safety, make sure you're by somewhere with a counter, something sturdy for you to hold on to in case you lose your balance. If this is too easy, you can always come up to level 2 on the edge of a stair in your house. Kelsey's doing a good job of keeping her ears and shoulders and hips stacked nice and tall, keeping her core braced so she's not wobbling all over the place. Awesome. Is a regular squat. So Kelsey's just going to squat, and this time you can come all the way down so that your knee is at about a 90-degree angle and back up. If you can't go all the way down, that is okay. Go as far as you can and come on right back up. Make sure you inhale down and exhale, press up through your heels. Next exercise is the monster walk. Kelsey has a resistance band just looped around her thighs right above her knee, and she's going to come down into a slight bend, and she's going to stay this height, and then she's just going to walk sideways. Go about 8 reps in one way to start, and you can go 8 reps the other way. So Kelsey's going to show us the stationary lunge. She's going to take 1 step forward, and she's going to bend both her knees and slowly lower herself down towards the ground and come on back up. And as she goes down, you can see she's coming down to a nice 90-degree angle with both her knees. But not everyone's going to be able to do that, so you're just going to come down as far as you can and come on back up. You can notice that she's staying nice and tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. She's breathing. As she pushes up, she's going to push up through her heels so she can activate those glutes. And there you go. Now we're doing level 3 for the bridge. If you remember in level 2, your feet were together and your hips were coming up and down. And then level 3, we're simply going to bring your feet into a little bit more of a narrow stance. Kelsey's going to demonstrate a single leg bridge. If your floating leg stays straight and more parallel, that's a little bit harder. If your floating leg stays up higher, it's going to get a little bit easier. So you can kind of play with those levers to make the single leg easier or harder for you. So now we're at the exercises that you can do every day. Some of these stretches might seem familiar, but we're going to actually start with the glute stretch. So she's going to take her right ankle and cross it over her left knee. Some of you might find this is deep enough of a stretch. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands and wrap them around your thigh and hold. And remember, you can always start your holds for about 15 to 20 seconds and work your way up to 30 to 45. All right, so next is your hip flexor stretch, and that's right here in the front of your hip. So Kelsey's going to take one step forward, and she's going to take her pelvis, which is tuck it down and under, and push your hips forward. You should feel a nice stretch right in front here.
We hope you have enjoyed this level. If you feel ready, you can move on to the next level.
If you are getting ready for surgery, we wish you the best of luck and we hope that our videos have helped.
And remember, consistency is key and don't overdo it.